Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and today I'll be cooking up a grilled chicken sandwich. Now I know a grilled chicken sandwich maybe doesn't sound like the most exciting thing to be cooking, but this is something that I would cook at home on a weeknight or anytime really. And I think that what's really important is to understand how to really do this well. Anyone can cook a chicken sandwich. Of course, anyone could also be chewing on a chicken sandwich for a long time. What I've come up with for this recipe though is something that's packed with flavor, super juicy and tender. Now the first thing we're gonna do to get these nice and tender and to really just make them the shape that we need them to be is to pound these out. Now, this is a smart chicken with no liquid added. It's sitting around 3/4 of a pound, so a good sized chicken breast. But we're gonna spread this out a little bit and try to make it into 2 servings. As I do this, I'm not trying to just use brute force and beat it. I'm actually just moving it, pressing out or pushing in to try and form the shape that we're looking for. And we don't want to go too aggressive with this or we'll just tear this thing apart. So that's kind of in a shape now where you can see we can divide this in half and have 2 chicken portions. All right, so we've got these pounded out just like we want them. And at this point, I'm gonna put them back in this bag and add some marinade. We're gonna be using the Smoke on Wheels barbecue marinade for this sandwich. Now, this is a great marinade for savory cooking. It's got a lot of olive oil, some clarified butter, lemon flavor, garlic and onion. All right, we'll get this sealed up and into the refrigerator for about 1 hour. Now while we're waiting on that chicken to marinate, we're gonna put together a mayonnaise spread with some red onion and some avocado. And the red onion I actually wanna char up on the grill before we put this thing together. So we'll take a nice thick slice of this red onion, probably about 3/4 inch, and get rid of that outer ring. Then I'm gonna add just a little bit of oil. Cover our surfaces there, and we'll get it on the grill to get some color on it. Just place that right there on the grill grates, right where the flame is hitting the grates, and give it, 5 or so minutes to get some nice char marks from the grill grates. We can get everything else ready while that onion's grilling. So we're starting with a 1/2 cup of prepared mayonnaise, and then we need 1/2 of a large avocado. So I'm just gonna dice the flesh here in the skin, and then we'll turn it out. Careful not to go through the skin or you'll be stitching up your palm. Nice, just a little bit of color. That's what we're looking for. Put that right there in the sweet spot. Continue to grill this with the lid open so it's taking on color but not totally breaking down the onion. Next, I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of jalapeno mustard and Kansas flavors. This will have a little bit of tang, a little bit of sweetness, and of course a little bit of heat. And then to punch up the brightness, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. All right, so there's the char on the onion. We want a little bit of color. We want it softened up just a little bit, but not all the way. We'll give this a rough chop and then add it to the remaining ingredients. Now one last thing, we're gonna add probably about a tablespoon of the Cattleman's Grill 8-second ride. Great savory flavors and a little bit of extra heat in there. Beautiful color on that. You can work this down to whatever consistency you want. If you want it chunkier than this, go for it. If you want it all the way smooth, keep going. But this is right about where I like it. Just looks really nice. I love all the flecks from the char and the green from the avocado. It's sweet, it's a little bit tangy, got a nice salt level. And I love the creaminess. That's exactly what we're looking for. I want to fry up some bacon for our chicken sandwich, and it's going to take a little bit longer than the chicken to cook. We also need to make some room to toast some buns on here, so we're going to do the bacon first. Now we've got the grill running at 450 degrees. Skillet's off to the right. We've got a direct setup so the flame can make its way across to really heat the skillet up. All right, we'll let that cook away. We're gonna get back to the table so that we can take our chicken out of the marinade, season that up, and butter our buns for toasting. All right, chicken's coming out of the marinade. Really love this marinade. Anytime I've got an hour to let the chicken soak, I'll always try and use this. And I'm just gonna get rid of the excess on the surface there so our rub doesn't wash away. But you can see we're getting some of the herbs left behind on there, which is great for the flavor. Now, speaking of the seasoning, we're gonna be using our Cattleman's Grill Tri-Tip, which you guys see me use a lot because it's one of my favorite savory seasonings. The only thing I'm gonna do a little bit different today is we're gonna break this down a little bit into a finer consistency because I'm gonna be cooking this over direct high heat, and I don't want any larger chunks to get scorched. This also allows the seasoning to kind of spread out a little bit more rather than having larger chunks that are a little further apart. And give it just a minute to kind of attach to the meat before you flip it over and season the other side. You don't want to lose anything in that process. All right, let's take our chicken over to the grill, check on the bacon. We're making a little progress here. See some of that fat that's rendered out right now. Of course, we still need some more color. All right, so our bacon's just about done. We're gonna get the chicken on the grill. And then I'll start to pull these finished pieces of bacon off. Get a lot of bacon grease on the griddle. I'm just gonna clear a little bit of that off so that our buns aren't soaked in bacon grease. A little bit's great, a lot, not so good. Now I've got some brioche buns that I've buttered up. I'm gonna get those on the griddle, get them toasted. Gonna get a little rotation on the chicken here so we get some nice cross-hatch marks. All right, so we're starting to get a little color on here. Make sure this cooks evenly. We're gonna flip it over now. Check on our buns here. Oh yeah, those are looking really nice. Beautiful. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's give these just a couple more minutes though. Now using this technique and this setup on the YS640 with the grill grates on the left and the griddle on the right, you want to make sure that the griddle gets plenty hot before you start cooking. So I like to flip it on not long after I put the chicken in the marinade, and that really helps everything heat up. Now that gives you about 30 minutes to get everything together before you start grilling. Now at this point, I'm cooking with the lid open a lot because I'm trying to get some color on the outside of the chicken without ramping up the internal temperature too far. We're sitting at about 145 now. I'm probably gonna shoot for about 155 to 160 for a finishing temperature. That means you've kind of got to judge when you're gonna add some cheese to this chicken if you want cheese on top. Now, I've had it cooking on this bottom side for a few minutes after flipping, probably about 8 to 10 minutes total now. So I think we're ready to add our cheese. So we've got some pepper jack slices we're gonna add to the top of the chicken here. And hopefully we time this just right to pull these off at 155, 160. Meanwhile, the bottom buns are looking pretty good. There we go, perfect temp. That'll continue to rise just a little bit as we take this off. But once we cross 155, I think we're good. All right, so we're gonna divide these up for the individual sandwiches. Oh, look at that, super juicy inside, perfectly cooked. All right, so here's the plan. We're gonna go down with the avocado charred onion mayo. We're gonna top that off with some Boston bib lettuce. This stuff's fairly soft, but has just the right amount of texture. Then we're gonna hit that with the heirloom tomato. Wonderful, juicy, bright flavors. Now our chicken breast. Then we're coming in with the bacon. And we'll finish it off with that top bun and a little bit more of our sauce. That's a good looking chicken sandwich. Super juicy. The tomato and the chicken, all that juice just kind of explodes out of there as you take the bite. The brioche bun, my favorite sandwich bun right now. It's so soft, but it's holding everything together. You're gonna get a little bit messy with this. Well, this is a really great chicken sandwich. We're not making anything innovative here. We're just taking good things and putting them together and making them taste great. You can do this anytime you want to. You can do it with any ingredients you want to. We're not making any rules, right? It's just good food coming off the grill. Seriously though, I'll pay for this sandwich. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to thesauce.atbbq.com. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.